Are you torn on what Cricut machine to get? Well, I am so happy you're here because today's tutorial, I am discussing, what is wrong with me? Because today's tutorial, I'm discussing the differences between all 4 Cricut machines, so you can find out which Cricut machine is best for you. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video with Amy Makes That. Sorry for that introduction there, I had a little difficulty. As always, I hope you're having an amazing day so far on this beautiful Monday. And by the way, I'm Amy if you're new here. I create videos and content in regards to the Cricut tips, projects, and craft business tips. But if you're not new here, hey, nice to see you again, and thanks for stopping by to today's tutorial. So if you clicked on this video, chances are you don't have a Cricut yet, or you do have a Cricut, but you're deciding if you should upgrade to the newer models. Now, in the beginning, I did mention that I am discussing 4 Cricut machines in today's video, not 5. The 5th one would technically be the Cricut Joy. And the reason why I'm not discussing the Cricut Joy is because I'm actually going to be doing a separate video on that in the new year. So if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe. And starting tomorrow, I am doing a 12 days of Cricut Christmas projects on my TikTok account that I am so excited to do. They will be gift ideas, decor, all of that. All right, now we can get into the video. So let's start with the similarities. Now, I only found a few similarities between all 4 machines. And the first one is that they are all Bluetooth compatible. Either on your laptop, your iPad, desktop computer, whatever you use, there will be a Bluetooth icon that you can connect to your Cricut with. Now, this is usually shown when you are first setting up your Cricut in the beginning, when you buy it. The second similarity is that all of them cut up to 100 materials. Now, there are 2 specific models that cut up to 300 materials, but I will get into that later in the video. And all of them do print and cut projects. So if you aren't familiar with the term print and cut, I do have a video again on print and cut. The most popular project you all probably know is stickers. That is a print and cut process, but I go into further detail about that into my print and cut project videos. And then again, there are also going to be some other similarities between 2 of the machines, but these were the similarities that were between all 4 machines. So now you're probably wondering, where can I purchase this beautiful machine, the Cricut? Well, you can purchase it obviously on Cricut.com. They have their own website that I use and highly recommend. You can also order it from any craft store. Michael's is a very popular one near me. Also Joann's, if you haven't heard of them. And I believe Target is also selling them now. I'm not sure if they're selling the actual machine or they're just selling the accessories, but I know my Target has the Cricut section and I'm always wandering in that section. Honestly, guys, the best time to get a Cricut is usually around the holidays with Black Friday. I know it passed, but now with Christmas and the deals coming up, if you've been really wanting to buy one now. Or ask one for the holidays if you can. So now we can go into the full comparison of all 4 machines. I'm going to be comparing the Cricut Explore Air 2 with the Cricut Explore 3, and then I'm going to be comparing the Cricut Maker and then the Cricut Maker 3. The first and foremost Cricut that we must go over is the earlier machine, which is the Cricut Explore Air 2. Now, if you've been watching my videos for some time, I had a bright cobalt blue Cricut Explore Air 2. She was shown in quite a few of my videos. I believe right now Cricut.com is only offering the mint color and the blue color, but if you needed to find another color of some sort, you could even check Facebook Marketplace as well, eBay. Any of those websites might have used refurbished Cricut machines. The Cricut Explore Air 2 retails for a whopping $249.99, but I did see on Cricut.com last night that it is on sale for $149.99, which is such a great deal. And the Cricut Explore Air 2 also has a dial on the right-hand side, so that will allow you to choose what type of material you are cutting. Now, the Explore Air 2 does cut up to 100 materials. You will see on the knob that vinyl is offered, iron-on is also on there, cardstock. They cut a lot of basic materials, and you can look at that whole list on Cricut's website, and it cuts it with the basic fine point blade. And it also cuts up to 1.9 feet long and 12 inches wide. So you're probably all wondering, who is this good for? I highly recommend this Cricut to any beginner crafter. I can probably vouch for any Cricut YouTuber, Cricut user in general, and I believe that almost every person has started out with the Cricut Explore Air 2. Coming from me, I started out with it. I know many other people have started out with it as well. And this is also really good for people that are on a budget. I mean, the sale right now for Cricut, $149.99 is an amazing deal. I believe I bought mine for $200, maybe a little bit more. If I started out with this one, you definitely can too. And it really is perfect for any beginner or anyone that is new to the Cricut world. There's only one con that I have for this machine, and it is that it has this lovely dial button. I think I've explained this in either an Instagram story of mine somewhere, but long story short, I made the how to make stickers video, the first video that I made, and I had to change the dial to other because they don't have that setting set onto the Cricut Explore Air 2. I was getting this big error message saying that it was basically stuck on that other section. No matter how many times I turned the dial to vinyl, it wouldn't cut. I tried restarting Cricut Design Space, and it said that I had to contact Cricut customer service. Now this happened in June 2020. I had to borrow someone else's Cricut frantically because that's when I just launched my business and I needed to fulfill orders. I did not get this resolved until November of 2020. I already had to buy my Cricut Maker. I was forced to do that, and this was also during the pandemic too, so things were probably really hectic over there. It was just alarming for a business owner for me to not have that resolved and have the customer service not really be on top of it. So that is why I always mention it to anyone who is looking to get the Cricut Explore Air 2, because that can happen. So now let's move on to the Cricut Explore 3. This is one of the newer machines that launched this year, and the colors are the exact same as the Cricut Explore Air 2. There is a mint color and a light blue. There is no dial though. Now the price for the Explore 3 is $299.99. So say if Cricut doesn't have that sale for $149, the Cricut Explore Air 2 is usually $249. For a $50 difference to upgrade to the Explore 3, I think that is a great deal. And it is a great deal because not only does it not have the dial, but it is faster at cutting. I've seen plenty of videos where people have highly complimented that this machine cuts faster. It still does cut up to 100 materials, but the width amount that you can cut up to is 13 inches instead of 12. And the really big feature that is different from the Explorer 2 is that it can work with smart materials. So if you're unfamiliar with smart materials, basically Cricut came out with this vinyl that you do not have to apply your vinyl to a mat anymore. You can still obviously make projects and apply regular vinyl to a mat, but smart materials basically allows you to not use a mat, and it is a little bit easier than applying it to the 12x12 or the 12x24 Cricut mat. So who is this machine good for? Again, I would highly recommend this to any beginner crafter, and it is also a great upgrade from the Cricut Explore Air 2. So again, if you're not really looking to cut all these crazy, thick, different materials, I really do believe that either the Cricut Explore Air 2 or the Cricut Explore 3 are great for you. So now we can move on to the makers. And also, this is my machine and I absolutely love it. If you know me, I love my neutrals, my golds, all of that, and I had to pick champagne. The colors that it comes in are champagne, a blue, and a rose. It is not covering the entire Cricut. The main color of the Cricut is white, and then it has the champagne or rose on the top of the Cricut. There is no dial again, so you can choose the material on your laptop, and the price for this Cricut Maker is $349.99. Now on Cricut.com, they are on a sale right now for $229.99, which is great. But what really stands out from this machine is that it cuts up to 300 materials. So it does a lot more. You can engrave with this machine. You can use the foil kit, which is going to be a future video for next year. You can use the knife blade for deeper materials, the rotary blade as well. And you can cut items like leather, chipboard, felt, wood, acrylic, and it does cut up to 1.9 feet like the Cricut Explore Air 2 and 12 inches wide. It is much faster than the Cricut Explore Air 2. That was again another thing that I noticed right away. And it's also a little bit quieter than my old machine. So now, who is this machine good for? I am going to recommend this to a beginner crafter, but maybe more so an intermediate crafter. If you're basically looking to kind of just dive into the Cricut world, I don't know if I would suggest this one just because you might not be using this maker Maker to the best of its abilities, but it is a great upgrade from the Cricut Explore Air 2 and even the Cricut Explore 3. It really does take your crafting game to the next level because of the amount of items it can cut, and it also does keep costs very low. So even though this is a little bit more expensive, I can obviously see why, because 300 materials is a lot, guys. If you're really looking into cutting more materials, I definitely suggest this Cricut for you. And the last machine that we are talking about, and it is the Cricut machine of all Cricut machines, is the Cricut Maker 3. And the price for this bad boy, $399.99. Again, there's no dial for this, so you can choose your vinyl setting or whatever it is on the laptop. The only color that this does come in right now is that light blue, and it also cuts up to 300 materials like the Cricut Maker. So again, it can engrave. We can use the foil kit to make some nice foil invitations if we want. You can do some deep scoring, use the rotary blade to cut some felt, a knife blade to cut all those thick materials like I mentioned for the Cricut Maker. And it does cut up to 1.9 feet, but it has that extra inch like the Cricut Explore 3, so the width is 13 inches. And it is even faster than the Cricut Maker. And the big difference really between the Cricut Maker and this one is that it works with smart materials. The Cricut Explore 3 and the Cricut Maker 3 both work with smart materials, so you don't have to use your 12x12 or 12x24 mat. Who is this machine good for? Again, this is the machine of all machines. So if you're really wanting to use all of those 300 materials, I would highly suggest this machine for you. I would say more for an intermediate crafter. I'm gonna have to be honest, guys. I think the only con with this machine is the price. It is $400, first of all, and I get so many messages from people saying, I really can't afford this yet. I'm saving up for a Cricut, so that's why I do recommend the Explore Air 2 and even the Maker for any beginner. But I will say, if you are a craft business and you're trying to sell products with your Cricut, you're gonna make that money back. So in reality, yes, is this an expensive machine? But you're gonna see that $400 and it's gonna come right back to you. So this ultimately is a decision for you to make and whether you want to purchase it or not. So now that we went through all of the lovely Cricut machines, which one do you think is right for you? I would love to hear your opinion and please comment below. Again, if you need a more detailed comparison between all 5 Cricut machines, because I didn't talk about the Cricut Joy, I will put that website link in the video description. But that is it for today's video. I hope you learned something very valuable and enjoyed everything you need to know about the Cricut. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I want to hear from you what kind of videos and content you would like to see from me in 2022. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!